to do K12 ELA. Let's dive in. This unit begins with the word study workshop that focuses on words that look alike or sound alike but have different meanings. Then you'll move to a reading workshop that will introduce you to a novel in which each chapter is a poem. You explore the characters, settings, and conflicts of the books, as well as its language, imagery, sensory details, and form. Finally, in the writing workshop that concludes this unit, you will revise, proofread, and publish this piece you wrote, expressing your own opinion as an issue. As you make your final adjustments to your piece, you can and should consider how to spice up its language with words and phrases that capture the imaginations of your reader. Get ready. Introduction to homonyms and homographs. Lookalikes and soundalikes. Some words are spelled the same, but they are pronounced differently and have different meanings. They're called homographs. Other words are spelled the same and pronounced the same, but they have different meanings. They're called homonyms, like synonyms. Let's learn about several homographs and homonyms in this lesson. A bat could be an animal or a bat for baseball. All right, let's go. Let's go to the second page. Oh, that's the lesson standards. I don't want to look at that. Get ready. Look back at word relationships. Words can have more than one meaning, so it's important to be able to recognize and use context clues to help you figure them out. Review context clues and multiple meaning words. Read the sentence. If you can persuade your mom to let you eat dinner at my house, I'm sure I can sway my dad and get him to order this pizza. Persuade means convince. Correctamundo. Derek and Enda loved to kid around, but I wasn't in the mood for their foolishness. Child. Kid is a child. A joke. Oh. You can be a kid, I'm kidding, or I'm joking. Yeah. Let's listen. A homograph.
Homographs.
Homographs are words spelled the same but pronounced differently and with different meanings.
Homographs. A plural noun that means words spelled the same but pronounced differently and with different meanings.
Bow or bow.
Bow. Bow. Bow. A noun that means two loops made from knots. Jane's present to her mom had a beautiful red bow on it. Bow. A verb that means to bend at the waist. When one meets the queen, one is expected to bow to show her respect.
This is a noun and this is a verb. Wind or wind.
Wind. Wind. Wind. A noun that means movement of air. The wind blew through the trees and rustled the leaves. Wind. A verb that means to move by twisting.
Example.
Please wind the hose up when you finish watering the flowers.
Got it. Lead. Lead.
Lead. Lead.
Lead is a type
A noun
of
that means a type of metal. Pencils used to contain lead, but now they contain graphite. Lead, a verb that means to guide, be in front of. Jacques will lead you to your table, sir.
Homonyms! Yes! Now we're going to do homonyms, which have it's spelled the same and said the same, but have different meanings.
Homonyms. Homonyms. A plural noun that means words spelled the same and pronounced the same, but with different meanings.
Yes, I was right. Now we're going to do duck. Duck is like an animal. Duck is like bend down too.
Duck. Duck. A noun that means a type of bird. The duck waddled across the grass and hopped into the pond. Duck. A verb that means to lower. People usually duck their heads as they run to board helicopters.
But do ducks duck? Pool.
Pool. Pool. A noun that means a place to swim. On a hot day, there's no better place to cool off than at the community pool. Pool. A verb that means to bring together. This project will be easier if we pool our talents and work as a group.
This project will be easier if we pool our talents and work as a group. Okay, last one. Point.
Point. Point. A noun that means the tip of something sharp. Watch you don't jab anyone with the point on the end of that stick.
Point.
Point. A verb that means to turn in a specific direction. If you point your telescope in the right place tonight, you'll be able to see Saturn.
Got it. You studied all 8 cards. It was almost noon when we arrived at the art museum. Our guide, Sheila, was checking her walks and muttering to herself about beginning the tour on time as we approached. Jason cleared his throat and Sheila raised her head. Just in time, Sheila said. I'm Sheila, and I'm going to lead you this afternoon this time. Please silence your phone, don't fall behind, and save your questions until we finish. Sheila did not seem very fun. I glanced at Jason, but he just shrugged. We already bought our tickets, so we didn't have much choice other than to try to enjoy the museum as much as we could. Of course, while Jason and I were exchanging looks, Sheila was already walking and talking. I watched her point to a large oil painting in one of the galleries. Jason and I hustled to catch up to her. 18th century Dutch, of course, Sheila said. Of course, Jason replied mockingly. And you'll notice how the artist captured the way the wind blows, not for just the hair of people, but also the clothes in the tall grass behind them. It's very realistic. We nodded appreciatively, and Sheila moved on. She approached the rather small painting on the far wall and folded her arms across her chest. This picture was one of the large palace with a great garden and a fountain in front of it. Do you see the way the light reflects off the pool next to the fountain? It draws one eye to it, does it not? I have to admit, it did. Though Sheila was not a particular friend, she certainly knew her stuff when it came to art. Jason and I learned more from her in that afternoon than I would have expected.
Some words in English are spelled the same, but they are pronounced differently and have different meanings. These are called homographs. Other words in English are spelled and pronounced the same but have different meanings. These are called homonyms. Let's take a look at a passage that contains both homographs and homonyms. As we read the first section of the passage, we will use the context clues in the passage to help us figure out the meaning of any homographs or homonyms we encounter. The word spelled L-E-A-D is a homograph. It can either be pronounced lead or lead. Lead is a noun. It is a type of metal. It is found underground and it is used to make things like batteries and cables. Lead is a verb. It means to guide or be in front of. When someone leads, it usually means that others are expected to follow.
Oh,
Lead is a verb. It means to guide or be in front of. When someone leads, it usually means that others are expected. So what does lead mean in this passage? And how should we pronounce it? Look at how the word is used in the passage and the context clues around it to figure out if it is the word led or lead. Let's start with its usage. The word is used as a verb here. It describes an action that Sheila takes. Then let's look at context clues. Note that Sheila is a tour guide, and the word describes her actions. The phrase, "don't fall behind," suggests that she expects the narrator and Jason to follow her. Notice also that nothing in the passage suggests that Sheila is talking about a type of metal. These hints help us determine that the lead here is pronounced lead, and the word is a verb that means to guide or be in front of. Let's try another one. Later in the passage, we encounter the word point. Point is a homonym, so it is always pronounced the same way, but it can mean different things. When used as a noun,
the next word is going to be wind. I know it.
point can mean the tip of something sharp, such as the end of an arrow or a spear. When used as a verb, point can mean to turn in a specific direction. You point the remote control at the television when changing the channel. So what does point mean in this paragraph? How can you figure it out? Right. Look at how the word is used in the passage and the context clues around it.
Yes, that's so true.
Let's start with its usage. The word is used as a verb here. It describes something that Sheila does. Context clues confirm this usage. Sheila is directing the narrator and Jason to look at a painting, and she does so by turning her finger to it. There is nothing that suggests Sheila is holding anything with a sharp tip. These hints help us determine that point here is a verb that means to turn in a specific direction. The word spelled wind is another
Homograph. And I knew it would be the next word. And right, the next word will be pool.
homograph. It can either be pronounced wind or wind. Wind is a noun. It is the movement of air. You probably feel wind at least a little bit every day. Wind is a verb. It means to move by twisting. Many toys for young children move after you wind them up. So which wind does the author intend for us to read in this passage? And how should we say it?
It's going to be wind.
Again, let's look at how the word is used in the passage and the context clues to figure out if it is the word wind or wind. Let's start with its usage. The word is used as a noun here. It does the action. Next, let's look at context clues. What action does it do? It blows not just the hair of the people, but also their clothes and the tall grass behind them. Nothing in the passage suggests that anything is being moved by twisting. These hints help us determine that the wind here is pronounced wind, and the word is a noun that means the movement of air.
All right, that is so good. Pool.
Let's look at one last word.
Wasn't I right? One last word. Called?
In the final section of the passage, the writer uses the word pool. Pool is a homonym, so it is always pronounced the same way, but it can mean different things. When used as a noun, pool can mean a place to swim. A lifeguard keeps people safe at the pool. When used as a verb,
Have you been to the pool before? If you have, tell me in the comments.
pool can mean to bring together. A group of people might pool their money to buy dinner for everyone. So what does pool mean in this part of the passage? Let's look at how the word is used and the context clues around it. As for usage, pool is used as a noun here. It describes a thing. Context clues confirm this usage. Sheila describes how the light bounces off of it. There's nothing that suggests Sheila is bringing things together. These hints help us determine that pool here is a noun that means a place to swim.
Yay! 16 minutes.
You've read one passage. You've learned about 2 homographs and 2 homonyms. And you've practiced a few ways of figuring out the word and meaning that the writer intended. Keep in mind that you can continue to do this. When you find a word that is spelled the same way as another word, whether it is pronounced differently or not, consider its usage and what the context clues around it suggest about its meaning. Also remember, if usage and context clues don't help you figure out the meaning of a word, you can always look it up in an online or print dictionary. Dictionaries will tell you the various meanings of homographs and homonyms, as well as their usages and their pronunciations.
All right.
Hi, I've written a couple of paragraphs containing homographs and homonyms for an English assignment. I need to provide enough context clues in the sentences to make the usage of each word clear so that readers can understand exactly what I mean. Can you help me test out whether I've done this? Start by reading the first paragraph.
All right, Maria. I've taken karate since I was a little girl. Every Saturday morning, I have a lesson, and it always starts the same way. I face my sensei or teacher and bow down. As I bend at the waist, I always keep my eyes on his. Then he teaches me all sorts of stretches, kicks, and moves. He's a great teacher, and that's why I got him a present for his birthday. I put it in a red box, and I tied a bow on it with black ribbon. I gave it to him before class, and I watched as he unwrapped it. It was a shirt that said "World's Greatest Sensei" on it, and he is.
Bow and bow look alike, but they don't sound alike, and they don't mean the same thing either. What are bow and bow in this paragraph? Choose the answer.
What do you think, guys? Homographs.
Right. Bow and bow are homographs. You can figure out what meaning is intended for each word by looking at their usage and the context clues around them.
Okay, the homographs I'm using in this paragraph are bow and bow. I've tried to make it clear which is which by how I've used each word and by including helpful context clues. Notice that the first B-O-W is a verb, and the second is a noun. Select the highlighted phrases that you think are context clues that help define the words so we can discuss them. This will help me decide if I've provided enough context. There's one. Yes, indeed. There's one. That context clue is actually a definition of the word B-O-W.
The Big 20.
So this first word must be pronounced bow, which is what I do to show respect for my karate teacher. Yes, indeed. I'm glad you found that one. This tells you that this B-O-W is pronounced bow, a noun that names two loops made from knots. It is what would be on top of a present. Yeah, that's a context clue. This helps you know that the second use of B-O-W is a noun, and it's something you tie in a knot. In this paragraph, I've left 2 blanks. Each blank needs to be filled in with one of the homonyms below. But which one goes where? Can you help me decide which ones belong in the blanks? First, read the paragraph.
After about a mile, the path through the woods comes to an end. It stops in front of several large trees, and it seems as if you can't go any farther. However, you can actually duck the verb and creep forward, staying low to remain under the tree's bottom branches. That's a context clue. And if you do, you'll find that behind the trees is a pond. It's very beautiful and peaceful. It's very beautiful and peaceful. There are swallows and geese and words like duck, which is a noun, a type of bird, with green and gray feathers. A context clue. If you're lucky, he'll quack a hello to you when you arrive.
Now let's see if we can use each word's usage and context clues in the paragraph to figure out which word fits in each blank. Let's look at the first part of the paragraph first. Select each context clue so I can tell you what I think it says about the meaning of the missing word. When someone is staying low, they are lowering, getting closer to the ground. This context clue is also about getting under something that is already low. Again, this suggests being close to the ground or lowering. Now that we've looked at the context clues, can you tell which usage of D-U-C-K I should put in this first blank?
Yes! It is duck the verb.
Right. If you read the sentence with the blank, you can tell that the word that goes in this blank is a verb because it's an action that the narrator is suggesting readers take.
Should the blank here be filled in with the verb duck as well? Or should it be filled in with the noun?
The noun. Because it's a type of bird. And also, it says he'll quack. When you lower down, you don't say quack.
That's right. The blank is preceded by the adjective large, so the missing word must be a noun. Further, the context clues mention green and gray feathers and use the word quack. It's clear that the missing word is a type of bird that goes quack.
Exactly. And I was so right. Go right. I don't want to write. I already wrote. I did this yesterday. Let's do a review game. All right, we're going to do a quick game. Ah. Alright, I cannot do this. So then, bye everyone. See you in our next video.